वेलकम एवरीवन। नमस्ते राहुल भैया। नमस्ते एवरीवन। उपासना दीदी नमस्ते।
Good afternoon, Jitendra. Good afternoon, everyone.
जी जी जी।
Namaste to all.
वीना दीदी नमस्ते।
नमस्ते।
जी जी। राजुल भैया, चेयरमैन सर हैज आल्सो ज्वाइंड।
Yes, welcome, Sitharam ji. Welcome. And
राजीव सर।
Rajeev ji, welcome. Namaste. Namaste, Rajeev, Ahuja ji. Thank you for being the host. We can see you, but I can't hear you, Rajeev ji.
Is mute actually.
So I say this is our pleasure, sir.
Yes.
हाँ,
And Amrendra ji is there.
अमरी
Sir, namaskar, sir.
Namaste, namaste. Welcome.
Enjoy this kind of session.
Yeah.
I'll be glad to hear you and your experiences.
Yes.
जी। अरोड़ा सर भी हैं। नमस्ते अरोड़ा सर।
नमस्कार। नमस्कार जितेंद्र जी। नमस्कार सीताराम जी। राजीव जी नमस्कार। नमस्ते टू ऑल।
जी।
And Sitharam ji said that he will join 3 o'clock.
जी।
ओके ओके।
जी। So we can also decide on the language of the session. हिंदी चलेगी, इंग्लिश चलेगी या मिक्स चलेगी। लुकिंग एट दी पार्टिसिपेंट्स, तो कहाँ कहाँ से हैं एक बार मिलके आप लोग डिसाइड कर लें, अच्छा रहेगा।
I can see Dr. Veena Bansal. Professor Bansal is from IIT Kanpur. Namaste, Veena ji. Welcome.
Namaskar. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, you all have done so much of work. And very interesting way that has been running at IIT Kanpur. So we are looking forward to hearing from you. Rajeev ji, as we had discussed, Veena Bansal ji has been teaching the UHV course at IIT Kanpur, and it has been in a very creative way, and large number of students are opting for it. So we are going to look forward to hearing from her.
Yeah, that will be very good. I think then we can also think in IIT Ropar also if we can start.
Yes. Yes. So it's time now. I think it's 2 o'clock.
Maybe we can wait 1 minute.
Okay. We'll wait for a couple of minutes.
Yes. Actually, Anil ji called that he's just reaching home. So he said maybe he'll be late by 1 minute or so.
Yeah, actually, Sahasrabudhe ji initiated this, and then Rajeev ji was gracious enough to host this event. So we'll wait for Sahasrabudhe ji to join. Will that be okay, Rajeev ji?
राजीव जी वेट करें 1 मिनट.
जी जी वेट कर सकते हैं लोग तो, मतलब अपनी तरफ से कोई इशू नहीं है, बट पार्टिसिपेंट्स जो हैं एवरीबडी इज very senior people are there, so we just wanted to start on time, but we can start with some introductions and some expectations from the meeting, if that's okay with you.
Yeah. Please start.
Yeah. So we can see, I mean, randomly I'm just picking some names. Professor Namita Gupta. Namaste, Namita Gupta ji.
Namaskar, sir.
Namaste.
I'm Professor Namita Gupta. I'm Dean Student Welfare Women in Punjab University.
Okay, welcome.
Good, and I'm looking forward to an enriching
Yes.
session.
Namita ji joined just this week only. I think on Monday she joined as Dean Student Welfare at Punjab University.
Okay. Then we have Anish Sachdeva ji. Welcome, Sachdeva ji. Jaspal Kaur ji. Dr. Parul Chauhan. Yes, Manikant Paswan ji. Welcome.
From Slight Punjab, sir.
Yeah, welcome. Dr. Swaran Singh Randhawa ji. Your mic is muted, Swaran Singh ji. Swaran Singh ji, your mic is muted. If you can unmute your mic, we'll be able to hear you.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
I'm Dean College of Veterinary Science, Guru Angad Dev Veterinary University, Ludhiana.
Welcome.
So this is a new thing that we have learned from our parents or teachers, but we are not incorporating. It's not in our course, but we have just joined to enrich our knowledge about the human values, so we can add more to our curriculum.
Certainly, we are welcome.
Namaskar, sir. This is Dr. Anish Deva from NIT Jalandhar. I am Dean Student Welfare over here.
Welcome, Manish ji. Welcome.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Dr. Sonam Mansukhani, and I'm the Dean at the United World School of Liberal Arts and Mass Communication at Karnavati University, Gandhinagar. Sir, this is going to be a very good opportunity for all of us because at Karnavati, sir, especially in my school, we are offering courses in Indian knowledge systems as well as human values. So this is going to be a great opportunity for us as to how to structure the content and the delivery in a much better manner. And also to add, we are also a part of the nodal group for IKS in Gujarat, sir. So this is it, sir. Thank you.
Very nice. Welcome.
Good afternoon.
1 second, I'll be right back. Professor Sahasrabudhe is joining in a minute. So meanwhile, Dr. Upasana Mishra, she is at Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College in Ghaziabad, and she has been with us for many years now, I would say 2009 onwards, and she is going to conduct the, moderate the session. Welcome, Sahasrabudhe ji. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Rajeev Ahuja ji is there, and Sitharam ji joined, and then he is coming back at 3 o'clock. And Rajneesh Arora ji is also here, and Ganesh Bagaria ji is also here. Namaste, Ganesh ji. And we have 46 total participants. So back to you, Upasana ji. You can start.
So namaste everyone. In the age where AI obeys and gadgets heed each call, our children wander restless with no values to recall. Thumbprints mark identity, yet trust has lost its place in homes, in hearts, in systems too, a silent shifting space. We sing of ancient glory, of Bharat's wisdom vast, but teachings and sanskars fade like echoes from the past. Our youth now tremble inwardly, depression, fear, and despair. The spark of life grows dimmer, lost in a digital glare. Hospitals brim with illnesses that never had a name. The skies choke with pollution. Nature bears the blame. We chase a future empty, without a rooted guide. A civilizational crisis now, no place for soul to rise. But still, a lamp can flicker through culture's gentle flame. Let knowledge blend with values and love reclaim its name. Only then will Bharat rise, not just in thought, but soul, when hearts beat with compassion and harmony in the goal. When hearts beat with compassion and harmony is the goal. A very warm welcome to all the distinguished academicians, visionary leaders, decision makers, and invited dignitaries from IITs, NITs, and IIITs, and other premier institutions of our nation. It's my privilege and honor to introduce you all to Professor Rajeev Ahuja ji, an eminent academician, visionary leader, and the STEAM director of IIT Ropar. Professor Rajeev Ahuja ji is a globally renowned computational materials scientist with a PhD from IIT Roorkee and over 15 years of research experience at Uppsala University, Sweden. Professor Ahuja has brought world-class expertise back to India, guiding the next generation of scientific inquiry and innovation. Under his dynamic leadership, IIT Ropar has risen to 12th place nationally in IIRF ranking 2025 and launched pioneering initiatives like the ANAM AI Center for Excellence in Digital Agriculture and Deep Tech Innovation. His visionary outlook doesn't stop at technology, it extends into the social fabric of the nation. Observing the dilemma of today's youth struggling with identity, values, and purpose, Professor Ahuja has taken it upon himself to unify thought leaders from IITs, NITs, and IIITs onto a common platform here. His goal to reflect collectively on the civilizational and ethical challenges facing the next generation and to cultivate universally acceptable values rooted in wisdom and purpose. We now invite Professor Ahuja to kindly deliver the welcome address and share his inspiring vision with us all. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. It's my great pleasure that I got this opportunity to host this event. And I would like to thank Sahasrabudhe ji and Rajeev ji and Rajneesh ji giving this opportunity to a younger IITs. When you are coming from IIT Kanpur, you are the old one. But when we are coming from a young generation IITs, it's a great actually privilege for us also and great moment for us to lead this kind of initiative. And as already you mentioned that I'm living from last 32 years in Sweden. So I learned a lot there in European values, and now when I came back to India after 30 years, so I want to see that how we can combine the best of these two worlds. And as being in IITs, nowadays there are challenges of mental health issues, and there are a lot of ethical issues we are facing at right now in all over the academic institution in India, and how we can work together. And this is very important because the working together is very important to achieve any goal. So we want to grow as a society. We don't want to grow as an individual. How we can bring everybody on one platform and bring a nation with a values, what we are talking about, universal and human values. Actually, as in the one of the speakers say that we have learned this human values already from our parents, but problem is that we forget, and we are not we are talking, but we are not putting them in action. So this is a problem right now we are facing, that we talk, we know everything, what is good, what is bad, but implementation is we are lacking. And when I started at IIT Ropar, because in IIT Ropar, we are sitting on the Indus Valley civilization side. And we are a new generation IIT, started in 2008. And even our motto is actually Dio Yona Prachodaya. It means imply our intellectual into the right path. So this is already said in the Gayatri month, and we use Gayatri month in all pujas, but we are not implementing on ourselves. So this is a one thing we want to implement in our institution, at least then we can see that how we can grow together. And other thing is that we use this word I don't want to use this word I want to use this word we will do it. So this will help, and the trust with each other. So right now when we're talking about collaboration, because we want to grow through research and innovation, and when it's come to research, you cannot do without anything with a collaboration. So then trust also comes, because we don't trust each other. So trust and the compassion is very important, man. When we are talking about this, lot of these mental issues among the young generation, we need to have a compassion that we are missing actually. And we should be kind, we should have empathy to others, but that we are missing right now actually. And then how we can bring this back to the academia, that's very important. Because whatever we will teach, our student will follow when they become a teacher or they go to any company or big institution. And as we all know that IIT is a brand, we can find IITians in every country. So whatever teaching we are bringing them, they will bring this all over the world. And we always say that India was a wish guru actually. So we have to act like a wish guru. We cannot be a wish guru while not implementing those human values. And because the importance of the human values also bring the global harmony and our social well-being also. Another thing, nowadays we are always talking about sustainability. If we are following the universal human value, sustainability will automatically come. We don't have to specify all the time. We have to need a sustainable goals and sustainability. We are talking every time. And this can also, when we have empathy, when we work togetherness, when we grow as an institution, main thing is that we should take the ownership that we are missing. We don't saw our own action, but we are blaming everybody else without blaming ourselves. So that's the problem in the system. If I take ownership, this is my institution, all this human value will be automatically come, but we are not taking the ownership. When you are working in a university or when you're working in IIT, we think the IIT belongs to director. Director has to do everything. If it's a university, vice chancellor has to do things. Why should I do that? but because we are not taking this ownership. Because director or vice chancellor will come and go, but as a faculty, as a staff, you will be there for next 30 to 35 years. So we have to take ownership. Then only we can grow together. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. And other thing is that when we're talking about corruption, so we have to see that in the academic institution, because academic institution should be free of corruption. We should not accept corruption, because we are telling our students, do not involve in that. If we are not following those things, how we can make a society which is corruption free? Because this is our social responsibility, especially the academic institution social responsibility, how to take away corruption, at least from starting from the academic institution. If we are producing world-class engineers or doctors, they are going everywhere. They are sitting in a high positions in the government or elsewhere. So if we teach them a right path, they will behave like our ambassador and they will bring the change in the society. As we always talk, we want to make India as a Viksit Bharat, and this Viksit Bharat depends on our youth, because if you look at the India as a country, in the age of the population, we are a very young country. So we have an opportunity now to teach our youth the right path. Because in the end, after 25 years, or when we are talking about Viksit Bharat, at that time they will be there. They will be the leader of this country and they will lead India in the world. So we have to think very seriously about, besides teaching, the teaching is a good part, but the teaching human values, we have to teach them, and how to respect their teachers, how to respect their parents. You can see that a lot of people I have seen in India, they are touching feet other people on the stages or in the public, but how much they touch the feet of their parents at their home, how much they respect to their parents. So if we don't respect our parents, how we will teach the lesson in the family also? So this is a part of human values. The student comes to us, they are not able to share things also. So when they come to the institution, they have not learned how to share the things. So that when we are working in a society, we should learn how to share the things. And this is what we are not used to it, because the families are becoming now a single kid family, and the parents are living separately with the kids. Kids doesn't want to live with the parents. So this kind of values we are losing. This is a part of our Indian education system. What I want to tell you, that from my experience from last 32 years in abroad, that in abroad we can get everything, but the human values what we get here in Indian education system, that how to respect our elders, and that we are missing there. There is like a very commercialized world, but it's more professional. So we have to be professional also at the same time. We have to respect each other. So this is my short summation, and we want to take it to the next level, and we want to work for the universal human values, how we can inculcate this in the young generation IITs or young generation faculty and students. And this is very important for us, and to develop a stronger and a culture country as a wish guru for all of us. It's very important to work together, and togetherness will bring a collaboration, and collaboration is also important for our research and innovation. With that, I stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, Professor Ahuja. With a strong commitment to societal impact, qualitative growth, and research excellence, Professor Ahuja is not only taking initiatives in shaping IIT Ropar into a hub of innovation, but a beacon of value-based education, national transformation, and global relevance. Hearty wishes, sir.
Thank you.
We now have the distinct honor of inviting Professor Anil D. Sahasrabudhe, Chairman of National Assessment and Accreditation Council NAAC, a visionary educationist and thought leader, to address this esteemed gathering. Professor Sahasrabudhe has consistently championed value-based education and institutional excellence. During the testing time of the COVID-19 pandemic, he, as chairman AICTE, inspired the academic fraternity with his insightful articulation of Aapada Mein Avsar, seeing opportunity in crisis. His guidance continues to shape the future of Indian higher education with a focus on quality, innovation, and universal human values. Sir, you are welcome to share your reflections and purpose of this session with all of us. Welcome, sir.
Dhanyavad Upasna ji. I'm very tempted to thank the entire team of what we call as Universal Human Values team, which is working round the clock under AICTE banner for training of teachers in the form of faculty development program, 3-week student induction program. And therefore, whether it is Dr. Ganesh Bagaria ji, Dr. Rajul Asthana ji, Dr. Rajneesh Arora ji, who are all there on the platform right now, I thank all of them for contributing to this great exercise that we embarked upon. But let me go back a little bit to tell the story of how and why it started. Slight historical perspective is also very important. I think science and humanities is a very important subject which was going on in IIT Delhi. Dr. P.L. Dhar and Dr. R.R. Gaur are the formative years. In the 90s itself, this kind of a program was announced. Dr. Rajeev Ahuja ji, you are here in India from abroad after spending a lot of time. You rightly said that these values are important and India alone can contribute it to the rest of the world. And therefore, what Dr. P.L. Dhar and Dr. R.R. Gaur were doing was taken up further by Dr. Sangal, who was director of IIT BHU and before that director of IIIT Hyderabad. In the years 2004 to 6, somewhere around that, I was director at College of Engineering, Pune, and we had a lot of discussion and learned the manner in which he was dealing this particular program. Subsequently, of course, we are aware that whether it is PTU, where Dr. Arora ji or our Premraj ji in UPTU, now AKTU, they conducted these programs. And it has been going on in some way or the other in different institutions, including latest one, a very long one in IIT Gandhinagar by Sudhir Jain. But while in AICTE, what we realized was, unlike even probably that is a true story even in the IITs and NITs, and this particular session is particularly for IITs and NITs. But even in IITs and NITs, the same phenomena exactly is observed, which is there in the tier 2, tier 3 colleges. Students come from variety of backgrounds, lot of diversity in terms of language. Some are from English medium convent schools, some are from mother tongue, maybe Tamil, Marathi, Kannada, Telugu, Gujarati, Bengali, Assamese. They are there in the classroom. There are students from well-off background, rich background, and there are students from very poor background. There are also students who come from remote, rural, tribal areas and students from metropolis like Delhi or Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad. And in a class where all of them are together on the first day after the admissions are done, there is a big challenge for the teacher in understanding the students and pitching at what their level is, and each one is different. And in order to bring them on almost same level playing field, it may not be level playing field, but at least clear understanding between them is very important. And this whole phenomenon of universal human values is based on human understanding of each other, respecting each other. And then all the parameters which we talk about in terms of our ancient civilizational values, love, compassion, harmony, peace of mind, all of that is very, very significant and important. And therefore, there are 4 things which are mentioned in our ancient literature, that of Sharira, Mana, Buddhi, and Atman. Sharira is also different. Diversity is there. Their mind works differently. Their intellect is different. And therefore, in a classroom, when they come together, there is a challenge in addressing the issues. And some of those who come from poor background, from non-English medium background, from rural areas or tribal areas, they are almost lost in the jungle of that institution and will not be able to perform despite having scored 80-90% of marks in their grade 10, 12. And so how do we empower them was a big challenge. And therefore, all the exercise that was done over more than 3 decades of Dr. P.L. Dhar, Dr. Gaur, Dr. Ganesh Bagaria, the Premvrat, Dr. Arora, Sangal, we collected all of that intellectual wisdom and made a practical outcome out of that. And what we call, Rajulji, this universal human values has become a very prominent, important course in all the institutions today, at least in the technical institution. We want it to spread to schools. We want it to be spread to institutions of excellence and eminence like IITs too, because this is no different in IITs. I have myself experienced in IIT Guwahati, students coming from Bihar, UP, they don't know English and they are lost actually in the first year when they have to all come into English medium, whereas they have done their 10th, 12th in Hindi medium. They are bright, they are very brilliant. Otherwise, how did they pass JEE examination? And therefore, this particular program with 9 modules, which is developed, and 1 week program for faculty members in understanding this program, because they have to deal with it in their respective institutions, has gone a long way in the last 5 years. And that is why all the issues which Dr. Ahuja ji argued about the dilemmas, ethical dilemmas which the students face. I know very first year when students come, why did you come to engineering? You ask them, they will say that it will fetch them a good job, high-paying job. That is the only vision they have. Or they say that their parents thrust them into the institution. There were no engineers at the family level, and therefore they were asked to do engineering. Whether they liked engineering, whether they have that interest or not, immaterial, they are pushed into it. And therefore, how do we make all the students realize the importance of each other, and a spirit of collaboration is developed, honesty and integrity is developed. Dr. Ahuja ji, you also mentioned about sustainability. It's very important. Today, the whole world is talking about sustainability. But the roots of sustainability are in our Indian ethos, in our civilizational values. If you look at the respect for the motherland, that is Bharat Mata here, or for that matter, any country, the land is the one which gives us food. Without that, we wouldn't have survived. The land is the one on which the trees and forests are there, because of which we are getting oxygen. Land is the one on which the rainfall falls and then rivers flow and we get water. So water, food, all oxygen are absolutely necessity ingredients for the living. And we have not even realized that all of this is coming from the nature. Our respect for nature is important, and therefore in our culture and tradition, maybe some people may say it is a superstition, but nevertheless, making prayers for all these, not just human beings, but beyond human beings, other entities of living like plants and animals, other animals, but beyond that, even the rivers and mountains, seas, these are all respected in our culture, and that is what is nothing but sustainability and what is known as SDG goals. So if someone is training us in sustainability and sustainability development goals, I think they should come to our roots, which unfortunately may not be visible today in our cities and metropolis. But if you go to any remote village, whether it is in Uttar Pradesh or in Nagaland or Assam or in Jammu Kashmir, you will find Atithi Devo Bhava. They will respect you and give you food. That is the human touch which our civilization has been talking about. Of course, we say Matru Deva Bhava, Pitru Deva Bhava, Guru Deva Bhava, and Atithi Deva Bhava. I think all of these ingredients are very, very important. And why did we start? One was the differential which existed, or a lot of gap that existed between different students on one side. On the other side, most of the students who come to engineering are, most of them, broken down, or they have become heartless. The reason is maybe their parents have pushed them into some kind of a coaching class in Kota or Rajasthan or in Hyderabad or in some other place or in their own towns or cities. And without going through their normal curriculum, without playing games, without enjoying their life in terms of music, dance, drama, they have all been only mugging up the problems that are coming in JEE. If not JEE, if they don't succeed in IIT, then NIT. If they don't succeed in NIT, it has gone.
No, sir, you are audible, sir.
Something else came up on my PC, therefore I was doubtful. Anyway, so therefore our students are only looking at what is the pay package that they will get at the end of the 4-year program. And that is why this program becomes significant. They have to have importance of their bodies, sharira, in terms of taking care of the health. So one of the modules is about knowing the anatomy, knowing the health factors, what are the things, what type of food to be eaten, not to be eaten. I think these are all important values which are also ingrained into the first 3 weeks of this student induction program. The place where we are studying, we should know the surrounding geography, about places of historical importance, maybe some kind of a visit to those places. Not only that, if there is an industry nearby, we should know about the modern era technological transformations, changes happening is also to be understood. It's not that we only bask in the past glory, but even current glory is also to be understood by our students. Then human to human interaction, relationships is the most important part, which is creating what we today call as dilemmas, both ethical as well as in terms of what we call बहुत हमारे बारे में हम सोच रहे हैं. Dr. Rajeev Ahuja ji rightly said, instead of I want to start saying we, and that we-ship is there, and therefore that we-ship can be developed in this 3 week of student induction program. We have other things which also institutions look at. For example, we have competition amongst institutions through the National Institutional Ranking Framework, and there are various data to be submitted. We have found many a times, in order to get a higher ranking, institutions fudge the data, give exaggerated data. Not only that, research publications which are published, because some of them being plagiarized and plagiarism is there, they are withdrawn after some time. So these are all features which is putting our nation into a wrong step. And therefore, it's not that only Indians are doing it. Many other countries are also having their papers being retracted because of either plagiarism or the same thing being repeated, etc. But I think India, which is a noble place for value systems, should not have that. If some other country is doing it, we should not say they are also having plagiarized papers. Why should we not have? I think that is not the spirit at all. We want to have the highest level of honesty and integrity to be amongst our faculty members. Maybe this time our ranking in QS may come down or NIRF may come down. Doesn't matter, as long as we have ethically given the data which is truthful. That is the most important part of it. So how these traits can be developed among students? By understanding with each other, by not forcing. In this program, never ever we say that do this or don't do this. The do's and don'ts are not there as part of this program at all. We only give statements and ask them in such a situation of maybe a dilemma, maybe a situation, how do you react? And then some choices are given. And in 90% plus cases, answers from all of them are similar, whether it is teachers, whether it is students. When we ask this query, everyone answers the same way. But immediately, next question, if it is asked, when really in practice in your life, such a situation had arisen, did you follow that? Most of them will not raise their hands and they say, nahi sir, हमने तो किया नहीं था. तो फिर करती और करनी में ऐसा फर्क क्यों है? अब जब ऐसा कहते हैं कि हम नहीं कहेंगे कि करनी ही चाहिए, लेकिन करती और करने में फर्क होना चाहिए क्या? नहीं होना चाहिए. फिर हम कर रहे हैं क्या? कर रहे हैं. तो इससे बाहर आना है कि नहीं? आना है. तो फिर कम से कम अब तक जो किया तो किया, ठीक है. इसके बाद तो आप कम से कम सही रास्ते से जाने के लिए तैयार है. So everyone raises their hand, and I'm very, very happy and delighted that most of the teachers after that 1 week faculty training program on universal human values, many teachers cried. Tears were in their eyes. They said, I have been a faculty member for last 15 years, but I never realized what is the role of a teacher. Today, I know what is the role of a teacher. Hereafter, at least, I will become a true teacher. The true teacher, true guru is one who will have that all variety of love, compassion, harmony, peace of mind, and will take care of all stakeholders, all students. irrespective of their background. There are now cases where students with physically challenged, whom we call Divyangjan, come to the college. How do we empower them? Maybe using technology, human behavior, one-to-one correspondence and relationships that are there developed between the teacher and the students. Everyone should feel that I am taken care of. And that is where share and care is the principle, sharing and caring for each other. And that spirit has been imbibed by this program called Universal Human Values. And I'm really happy that the entire course has been developed in a manner that it is very easy to absorb, easy to follow, and easy to implement. And the results out of that have been phenomenal. I think there was a study conducted by us through agency to understand how deep is it ingrained into the minds and of the students, and what is the outcome that is able to achieve out of this kind of a course or a program. And we found that in institutions where it is seriously implemented, there have been no problems. We have often seen in most of the colleges and universities, there are dharnas, strikes, and if there is no water in the hostel, suddenly dharna will go to the principal or vice chancellor's room. And then sometimes some students even take extreme steps of breaking some of the property of the institution, thinking that by doing that, it will all get cleared. But Universal Human Values program makes them feel, again, what Professor Rajeev Ahuja said, one of the statements is ownership. And this program creates that ownership amongst faculty, students, management, heads of the institutions. Each one of them will understand each other. This understanding each other is the real crux of the matter. And this program does that understanding. And once understanding is there, even if there are minor problems, we ignore them, we excuse them. And with the love and compassion and happiness, we absorb them. And that is what is the entire spirit of this program. And I'm very, very happy that institutions where this has occurred, one is ownership, and therefore none of the students have depression, no suicides happen in such institutions. There is a trust between the faculty and the students, faculty and the HOD, faculty and the vice chancellor. I think this trust deficit is what was creating a huge problem in education system in India. National education policy is also talking about this trust, rootedness in Indian value system, studying in different Indian languages, and most importantly, creating future citizens who are not only developing themselves as holistic human beings, but also create a holistic, what we call a family, holistic society, holistic nation, and entire planet. This is the only planet where humanity or the life exists as on today. We don't know there is life existing elsewhere, but at least what we know today is the life exists only in this planet. And the way the degradation of environment is taking place, that also will be addressed through the universal human values, which is a broader aspect of that. With these few words, I think I can go on, but I would like to put an end to this, congratulating Professor Rajeev Ahuja for taking the lead and inviting IIT and NIT directors, professors. I think one of its kind today, but this should not stop here. We must have tens of such programs, bring in all other IITs, NITs. AICTE has brought in as many engineering colleges as possible. It should start from the highest level, the best of the institutions to follow this. Then others will also start following easily. With these few words, I thank again. Namaskar, Dhanyavad, Jai Hind.
Heartfelt gratitude to Professor Sahasrabudhe for sharing his immensely valuable insights on the purpose of this meeting. Thanks, sir, for all your support and your vision. Thank you so much. We now take great pleasure in inviting Professor Veena Bansalji, a respected academician and scholar from IIT Kanpur, to share her invaluable experiences and insights on teaching universal human values. Professor Bansal has been deeply engaged in integrating UHV into the academic environment at IIT Kanpur, fostering a culture of introspection, ethical quest, and holistic development among students. An affectionate request to Professor Veena Bansalji to kindly address the gathering and share her reflections on the journey of UHV implementation and its impact at IIT Kanpur. Ma'am, you are most welcome.
All right. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, desktop is visible, ma'am. Means
And not the
PPT is-
presentation?
Yeah, no, PPT is not visible, ma'am.
Okay, just 1 second. Okay.
Yeah, now it's visible,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much for this opportunity. And I will try to keep the timeline. So I'm Professor Veena Bansal at Department of Management Sciences at IIT Kanpur. I've taught this course 3 times. I started this as a summer course in 2023. Then I taught in 23-24 second semester and 24-25 second semester. I got 39 contact hours with students and roughly 100 students registered every semester. The students were UG, PG, and like MTech, MBA, BTech, and PhD students. You know, so I had my doubts, do I have patrata to teach this course? But then I told the students that I'm a co-explorer, and that is where I started. Okay. So the course evaluation, we have 1 mid-semester exam, 1 end-semester exam, and there was 1 project component. Of course, all of this I designed, and there were 3 homeworks, 4 quizzes. 1 part of the exam was open book. So the idea is, we all know that not all students attend classes and not all students read. So I said, if I give open book exam, at least they will read during the exam, if at no other point. All right. And projects were shared through poster presentation, just like in the conference. And this is one activity everybody thoroughly enjoyed. So the course content is primarily these 4 components: harmony in the human being, harmony in the family, harmony in the society, and harmony in the nature. And just focus on harmony in the human being. And I'm taking this up to show other things about my experience. So 1 exam question I gave in a couple counseling session, and this is a story narrated to me by somebody. The counselor asked each couple to hold hands and then started the session. After 15 minutes, he found out that only 10% couples are holding hands. He concluded that it's a reflection of their relationship. So the question was, analyze this conclusion based on the following. There were other questions. I'm just listing 1 here. Analyze the story on the basis of coexistence of the body and the self. Okay. So in this course, I simply ask the students, are you a body? And there will be a large no, emphatic no. So whatever else is there, we just call it the self. Okay. So there's body and the self. That holding hands is an expression of the feeling. Expression of the feeling is not same as feelings itself, as feeling itself. Okay. And the minute I say this, a lot of things just start becoming clear to the students. I have not said anything. And they start realizing that body is for expressing the feelings, but feelings are actually in the self. Then you can elaborate. You say, what are the requirements of the body? What are the requirements of the self? And you don't have to spend much effort. It becomes very, very clear to them that requirements of the body are limited, intermittent, whereas requirements of the self are qualitative and continuous. When I say that holding hands is expressing my feeling, can the expression be continuous? And you realize it cannot be. So then you can start talking about all sort of spurious links that we have set up. For example, can money lead to happiness? Okay, so you require certain money to run your life, fine. But can you relate? Can you see this link that money leads to happiness? And they immediately realize that this is a spurious link. So money is not equal to happiness. And believe me, the students just feel so happy that now I can pursue these two things independent of each other. So the projects is again something that students come up with. We help them if sometimes they go overboard or too abstract, we help them. So the focus is the group of students who are doing projects. So if they want to study, let us say, what is happening to Yamuna. So in this course, we try to tell them that we'll worry about Yamuna later. This is your first course, first exposure. So let's focus on ourselves. So for example, if you say, I want to study how people feel, we say, okay, let's figure out how we feel, how you, the group, project group, how you feel. So for example, they started talking about prosperity among different economic groups. I said, forget about that. Let's find out how people feel in your family, in your immediate, relationship, extended family, your friends, and that becomes much more meaningful. Okay, so one group was very adamant that, for example, poverty. So do poor people need right understanding? And I said, okay, let's do the project. They did the project and they came back with the conclusion that right understanding is essential for people to break the cycle of poverty. One group studied nuclear versus joint family, and so on and so forth. So everything that was mentioned by Professor Sahasrabudhe and Professor Ahuja, I think all of that has been studied through different projects. So one student always used to argue with me that, every time I mentioned word cheating, he said, cheating is not as prevalent as you think. I said, let's do the project. And he came back apologizing, saying that it is more prevalent than you think. And he said that this course can actually help curb cheating. Okay, so we also have a sharing session at the end of the course, towards the end of the course, and where students come to the class and they share what they have learned from the course or what they got out of the course. So this student is a very active member of many committees, and he said that we always approached faculty or the management with a feeling of opposition, and most of the feelings were unfruitful and ended on a negative note. After attending the course, he started telling student members to be more receptive, look at the constraints on both sides, and he shared that a lot of issues that were pending got resolved in 1 month after doing this course. One PhD student shared that every time I will call my family and there will be a fight. And he didn't even understand why the fight used to take place. And he said it leads to stress and loss of focus, feeling lonely, etc. But after attending this course, he was able to, carry on the conversation. The fights simply disappeared. One girl shared that she used to carry this negative feelings about a person. Anytime she saw this person, her day will be wasted. And she realized after this course that carrying the feeling of opposition is hurting her more than the other person. So all kind of very interesting sharing. So some people just fight with their best friend and then that causes them stress. After this course, they said a lot of people shared that they revived their relationship. One student said that he has started making his decisions on his own rather than depending on other. And good news is that he's joining PhD program at IIT Kanpur in our department. One guy said he wanted unlimited money, and now he just wants to be a millionaire. So he's been able to put a cap on the money that he wants. One student, this was very touching. He said, I used to wonder, am I not good enough for my father? So then after this course, he said, okay, I always say in the class, take a baby step. So he said, I just called my father and he said, how are you, Dad? And he's saying that he's like, okay, son, I don't have enough time. Sorry. And he said, I'm good enough for my father. So all this depression, self-doubt, etc. disappeared, and so on and so on. And the last one is important. They are becoming aware of the contribution the institute is making, the staff is making, and their attitude is becoming more and more positive. What I learned, for me also, it was very challenging. I used to ask myself, am I qualified enough? क्या मुझ में पात्रता है कि मैं खड़े होके students को अपना, I'm telling them. But I realized that I will never be perfect. Perfect is not even defined. So whatever I am, I'll take the ownership and I'll try to help students become more and more responsible. And it worked. So on the very first class, I tell them that I'm co-explorer. But in the process, I have become much more aware of my feelings, activities, and participation. Of course, many people helped me run this course. I'm not listing their names here. And last thing that I want to mention, on our campuses now, there is no room for doing any productive physical work. There is gym, there are sports, but there are no place where I can go and let us say फावड़ा चला के मैं एक क्यारी नहीं बना सकती हूँ. Yeah, students के लिए I can do that. I have a small garden with God's grace. Or I cannot go और मैं एक लकड़ी काट के कुछ नहीं बना सकती हूँ. Those options are simply not there. We need to do something about it. So overall, it has been a very, very rewarding experience. The big challenge is attendance. Students miss a lot of classes and then they start reading for the mid-semester exam and suddenly they realize, oh wow, this content is so good. I wish I had, started attending classes properly. So that has been my big challenge. But overall, it has been very, very rewarding experience. And I really thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I'll be happy to answer any question. Thank you so much.
Veena ji, can we switch off the PPT and so we can see you?
Sure, I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm doing that. I'll stop sharing the screen.
Yes, now we can see.
Yes, stop sharing. Yeah.
Yes, nice, very nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciable, ma'am. Truly very inspiring.
So,
Ma'am's commitment to nurture human-centric education through experiential learning and open dialogue has inspired both faculty and learners alike. Thank you so much, ma'am. If any question from
Sahasrabudhe ji, this is a very good example of what is happening, and it has been taken up very seriously at IIT Kanpur. It has been going on as a workshop over there since, I think,
2008, definitely.
2008, definitely, but I think 2006 onwards it started.
I think, yeah, 2006.
Maybe 8.
Yes,
But
8 I attended. That is where I got initiated.
Yeah.
I attended the workshop in 2008.
Yeah. So, Sahasrabudhe ji, your dream is slowly materializing.
Also did my first workshop at IIT Kanpur in 2010.
Okay.
So I remember the IIT Kanpur has done really good work.
Yeah, now we have 2 sessions of content. So over back to you, Upasana ji and Veena ji. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks, ma'am, for your commitment and involvement towards UHV and wishes for future programs.
Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure and a very rewarding experience.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, so with utmost respect and warmth, we now invite Professor Ganesh Bagaria ji, a revered, thoughtful, and generous guru in the domain of value-based and holistic education, to share his insights with us. Professor Bagaria has been at the forefront of nurturing a deeper understanding of holistic education, one that integrates academic excellence with harmonious living in family and society. His work has continually highlighted how much an approach not only fulfills the higher aspirations of students, but also meaningfully addresses the growing concerns faced by the premier institutions like IITs, NITs, and IITs, triple ITs today. Pranam, sir. We eagerly look forward for your address and request you to now enlighten the gathering with your transformative wisdom and guidance, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yeah. And the slides are visible.
Ji, sir. PPTs are also visible.
Yeah.
It's all right to proceed. Yeah.
Very nice. So welcome you all to this session on universal human values. The content on which I have to share my view is this holistic development and role of education, particularly in the context of fulfilling the aspirations and resolving the concerns of IITs. If you look at the concerns of IIT, I have taken one as an example of IIT Kanpur. The vision statement and the mission statement, if you look into, it says to create, to disseminate and translate knowledge in science, engineering and allied disciplines that will best serve the society. So this is important, best serve the society. Then if you look at the mission statement, it says to pursue excellence in education, research and innovation by nurturing leadership qualities with sense of commitment and accountability. I have rearranged this mission statement because I thought it necessary to bring out the importance of giving them an exposure of the kind of UHV that we talked about, and Veena ji just shared her experience of offering this course in IIT Kanpur. So the first thing is this nurturing leadership qualities with sense of commitment and accountability for the development of the society at the level of the nation and ultimately at the level of the world. Then inculcating values and ethics in thoughts, expression and deeds. And then comes all this, enabling a creative and dynamic learning environment, fostering entrepreneurship spirit and skills, developing sustainable research solutions, building bridges between the academia, industry and society. And the motto of IIT Kanpur says, Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, lead me from darkness to light. Now, if this is the vision and the mission, then what we essentially need to do is not only giving education in technology and engineering, but essentially address these two issues which I have mentioned. What is the development in its holistic sense? And what is the role of education in ensuring this development? So this is what we are going to explore in this session. So 4 things we'll address to: the basic human aspiration, fulfillment of basic human aspiration, the holistic development, and the role of education in holistic development. As regarding the process, we are going to place things as a proposal which you can verify on your own right. As Dr. Sahasrabudhe said, that we are not talking about do's and don'ts, but we are talking about the proposals which each one of you can verify on your own right on the basis of your natural acceptance. So essentially we'll place the proposal and ask you to verify it without assuming it to be true or false. And interestingly, most of us are able to verify it, okay, on our own, on the basis of our natural acceptance. So that will become clear as we go on. So this question about the basic human aspiration and its fulfillment. So let's ask ourselves, what is the basic human desire? And then how this can be fulfilled? What are the requirements for the fulfillment of this basic human desire? So I will place these three basic human desires. One is to live, so this living. Second is living with happiness. And third is living with continuous happiness. So you can ask yourself whether this living is a desire for you or not a desire for you. Similarly, you just want to live or live with happiness. And third is you want to live with happiness in continuity or sometime. So these are the three basic human desires: to live with happiness, and to live with continuous happiness. And if you check what is the requirement for ensuring this living, for living we need physical facility. So physical facility is an essential requirement if we want to survive, if we want to live. But then we can see that physical facility alone is not sufficient when it comes to living with happiness. Right? So we do need physical facility, but over and above, we need relationship to live with happiness. And I keep taking this example that if you are living in a room which is air conditioned and the air condition is maintaining 21 degrees centigrade, but the person with whom you are sitting, you have a feeling of opposition. Will you be happy or unhappy? Right? The answer is very simple, unhappy. So along with this air conditioner working at 21 degrees centigrade, we need to have that feeling of relationship with the person with whom we are sitting. Then only it will ensure living with happiness. The third is that if we want to live with happiness in continuity, then this relationship alone is not enough. Physical facility is required, relationship is required. But more than that, right understanding is required. It means that if I am getting happiness through the right feeling from the other, and if at any point of time this feeling does not come from the other, my happiness will be discontinued. Now, what is the way to get this happiness in continuity? The answer is that if I have the right understanding in myself, if I can understand that the relationship is there between one human being and the other human being, and if I have this feeling of relationship for the other, irregardless of whether the other person is reacting or responding, then I can have this feeling of relationship for the other in continuity. And if I have that feeling of relationship in continuity for the other, then I can ensure this continuity of happiness within me, irregardless of whether the other is reacting or responding to me. So these three things are required. The physical facility is required, the relationship is required, and the right understanding is required. So I keep taking this example that you are in an air-conditioned room and you are sitting with a person with whom you have a feeling of opposition. You will be in trouble, you will be unhappy. The other person has gone, you are sitting alone, but you have contradiction in your thoughts. Will you be happy? Unhappy? The answer would be unhappy. So you need to have harmony in the thought. You need to have the right feeling in you in order to ensure happiness within. And this one can ensure by way of having the right understanding. So if you put three things together, the conclusion is that overall you need these three things. Right? Number one, you need right understanding in the self. Number two, you need relationship with human being. Number three, you need physical facility with rest of nature. So we can all check for ourselves as a human being, do we require all three of them? Or we can do away with any one of them. So the question is, are all three required? Or is something redundant? Then you can also ask, is anything more required? If I ensure all these three, the right understanding in the self, the relationship with human being, and the physical facility with rest of nature, then will it suffice or we would need something more? The other question would be that once we can see that all three of them are required for us as a human being to live with continuous happiness, then are we working on all three? Are we working on all three? Or we are largely focusing on physical facility? And if you are focusing only on physical facility, will it ensure relationship? Will it ensure happiness? The other example I keep taking is that if you ask yourself, in your family, your unhappiness is more due to lack of physical facility or due to lack of fulfillment in relationship. What would be the answer? The unhappiness in your family is more due to lack of physical facility or due to lack of fulfillment in relationships. Anybody would like to respond? Yeah. So you can check this.
It's always relationship in most of the cases.
Yeah. So the unhappiness is more due to lack of fulfillment in relationship. But you can see that we spend most of our time and effort in acquiring physical facility. So the unhappiness is more due to lack of fulfillment in relationship, but most of our time and effort is put in for acquiring physical facility. So the essential point that is that both of these are required. The physical facility is required and relationship with human being is also required. And ultimately the right understanding is also required. But you can ask yourself, are we working for all three of them or we are largely focusing on physical facility? The third question is that if all three are required, what would be the priority? What would be the priority? The point is that if we work on the high priority, this facilitates that working on the lower priorities is made easier. So if you ask this question, what is the right priority? The answer would be this ultimately. The right understanding in this self is the first priority. The relationship with human being is the second priority. Physical facility with rest of nature is the third priority. And ultimately, all three of them are required, and you cannot do away with any one of them. And if we have all three of them, then with right understanding in the self and relationship with other human beings, we are able to ensure mutual happiness. That is happiness for ourselves as well as happiness for the other human being with whom I am interacting. So with right understanding, I am able to understand relationship. I am able to ensure the right feeling in me, and I am able to live with mutual happiness with other human beings. Similarly, with right understanding, I am able to identify the need of physical facility. And by ensuring more than what is required, I can have the feeling of prosperity within myself. And I can also work for ensuring prosperity for the other, nurturing the other. So with right understanding, relationship and physical facility, I can ensure mutual happiness and mutual prosperity, which is the basic human aspiration. So we all want to live with happiness and prosperity in continuity. And that can be ensured by ensuring these three things: the right understanding, the relationship, and the physical facility. On the other hand, if we are not working on right understanding and relationship and focusing only on physical facility, then due to lack of right understanding, we are not able to understand relationship, we are not able to ensure the right feeling in us. And therefore, when we go to live with other human beings, right, we are unhappy within and we make others unhappy. So the result is unhappiness and making others unhappy. Similarly, when we don't have the right understanding, we do not know how much physical facility is required. And therefore, irregardless of how much we accumulate, we continue to feel deprived. And when we continue to feel deprived, we think in terms of exploiting others and depriving others. So the outcome of working for physical facility alone is unhappiness and deprivation for oneself and for others. So the basic human aspiration of happiness and prosperity in continuity does not work. So if you look at this together, it says that as long as we are working for physical facility alone, we are working with an inhuman consciousness, because it leads to unhappiness and deprivation, which is not desirable by the human being. Only when we are able to ensure all three, the right understanding in this self, the relationship with human being, and physical facility with rest nature, we are able to ensure happiness and prosperity for ourselves, and we work for happiness and prosperity of others. That is what is desirable by every human being. So only when we are able to ensure these three, we are living with human consciousness. So basically, what is desirable is this transformation, this progress from inhuman consciousness to human consciousness. And this is what we are calling as holistic development. And if you look at this development from inhuman consciousness to human consciousness, the major role is going to be played by education system, the system of education. So you can ask yourself whether this transformation is desirable or not desirable. And you can also ask yourself whether you are making effort for this or not. And in this context, we can also evaluate our system of education that we are following in IITs, NITs, IIITs, or any other academic institution. Are we preparing the students to ensure all three of them, the right understanding, the relationship, and physical facility, or we are trying to equip them with necessary skills to gather the physical facility, the necessary physical facility, even without knowing how much is required? So this is what is desirable, that we ensure the right understanding in this self through education, and then we ensure the relationship, living with relationship and necessary physical facilities through the right kind of living, right kind of sanskar. And that is what is required for any education system to ensure. So ensuring right understanding is ensuring the values, and ensuring right living is ensuring the skills. So both are necessary. The values are important, the skills are important, and they are complementary. Our focus today is on skills and not on values. And when it comes to skill, the focus is mainly on skills for ensuring the physical facility. So if you look at what is being suggested as holistic value-based education, is ensuring this, filling the crucial missing link in education. So this human education ultimately will provide a holistic human world vision through which we can ensure happiness and prosperity for each one of us and work for happiness and prosperity for others. This holistic human world vision will give rise to the human values. We'll be able to understand what is our participation with other human beings as well as the rest of nature. Then with this values, this clarity of participation, will develop the necessary skills for living with human values, both with human being and the rest of nature. And only then we can have definite human conduct. And with that human conduct, definite human conduct, we can participate in the society, and it will ultimately lead to a humane society. So all this is required in order to ensure the right kind of education for every child, where the child can develop living with a human consciousness, living with right understanding, relationship, and physical facility, ensuring happiness and prosperity for himself and work for happiness and prosperity of others. So there are two parts, as we have on the right side, the universal human values, which tells us what to do as a human being, that is to live in harmony. And second part is the skills to live in harmony, right, through nature-friendly technologies and human-friendly management systems. So this is what is needed for a human education. So this holistic value-based education is what is being proposed, and what Sahasrabudhe was mentioning, and also Veena Bansal ji, who offered this course in IIT Kanpur for 3 semesters, was trying to share. Now, the core outcome of this UHV approach, the holistic value-based education, is it leads to aspiration for excellence versus to be special. It leads to teamwork, collaboration, and complementarity versus competition. It leads to a holistic, balanced and holistic development of both consciousness as well as material versus material-focused development. And ultimately, it leads to human society, which ensures well-being of all versus accumulation of for the few. So all this is ensured through holistic value-based education. To sum up, what we are trying to say is that the basic aspiration of a human being is continuity of happiness and prosperity. Right understanding, relationship, and physical facility with the correct priority are required for fulfilling the basic aspirations. And a system of education which ensures this is called holistic education. And finally, we are saying that through such holistic education, vision and mission of IITs and other such institutions can be fulfilled, and the existing concerns and challenges can also be addressed. So to sum up, we are saying that through the value education, value-based education, through UHV, it is possible for us to develop and provide a holistic value-based education which can help fulfill the aspiration of human being, and also help these institutions of national importance to fulfill their vision and mission, and also to face the challenges, address the challenges and the concerns they have. So with that, I'll stop here. If there is any question, I can respond to that. Thank you very much.
Heartfelt gratitude, sir, for your guidance and hand-holding. Sir, we are running short of time, so maybe take question at the end, if you see.
True.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
If there is any urgent question right now, we can take one question before we move
Okay, Bhaiya.
Just
Okay.
3:20 right now.
Okay.
But we are happy that Professor Sitharam is also here.
Yeah,
Sitharam, we can request him if Sitharamji, if he can take 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah. No problem. You please take 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Ji, sir. Thank you, sir. So if anybody has any question, you have mic with you. Please unmute yourself and ask. You are most welcome to put your queries here.
I think if there is no immediate question, we can proceed.
We
and
can
last,
proceed.
have 15 minutes for questions. Then we can come back and respond.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. So thank you so much, sir. It is with great respect and deep appreciation we now invite Professor T.G. Sitharamji, Honorable Chairman of AICTE, to address this august gathering. Professor Sitharamji has been a steadfast supporter of universal human values in higher education and continues to carry forward this foundational initiative with renewed vigor and personal commitment. His visionary leadership is playing a crucial role in institutionalizing value-based education across technical institutions, ensuring that skill expertise is complemented by ethical understanding and excellence. Sir, you are most welcome to guide us, please.
Namaskar. Very good afternoon to all of you. I'm really happy to be part of this course, Universal Human Values. Greetings to Professor Rajeev Ahuja, Director IIT Ropar, Professor Anil D. Sahasrabudhe, Chairman, NAAC, NETF, Dr. Rajini Sharoraji, Chairman, NCCIP AICTE, and Professor Veena Bansal and Dr. Rajul Asthana, and all the esteemed dignitaries, faculty members, and respected participants. At the outset, I would like to thank the IIT Ropar and also the group which is organizing the Universal Human Value programs, and particularly this dialogue on Universal Human Values in education, and for also inviting me to share some of my thoughts. It is really and indeed an honor for me to be among the most eminent educationalists and leaders of our country who are shaping the intellectual and moral fabric of the future generation. Friends, what are these universal human values we are focusing on, and these programs what at AICTE we are also conducting for a long time now? Values that are fundamental to human existence itself, such as love, truth, peace, non-violence, righteousness, compassion. See, these are some of the thoughts should be addressed here. And it is indeed, we are all aware that India's strength has never been limited to this technological prowess alone. But what sets us apart in the global stage is the unique integration of science, spirituality, intellect and empathy, advancement and values. Since the Vedic era, our philosophy has emphasized Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family. And yesterday, 21st of June, One Earth, One Health, we organized the International Yoga Day, 11th in the series, 11th year, when Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji requested United Nations to declare 21st of June as the International Yoga Day. So this is the time where we are looking at a very important activity, another activity, that is the universal human values and how this has to be integrated into education. This discussion, I think, will throw some beautiful lights so that we can move ahead confidently to the next steps. So why we should include them in the education, and more so coming from AICTE in technical education? Human values complement actually any education by nurturing a responsible, ethical, and sensitive person. So it may be an engineer, it may be a doctor, it may be anybody who's taking education. UHV becomes a very important aspect. So in this time, particularly when the world is rapidly transforming with disruptive technologies, and also the world is not a peaceful world today. You are seeing even leading to, wars. So in that situation, UHV becomes much more important. Friends, universal human value that act as a moral compass, ensuring that progress is purposeful, inclusive, and humane. Today, as the new emerging technologies like AI, generative AI, and agentic AI begins to match and sometimes surpass human cognitive functions, we have already worried about, the machines are going to take over us. In this time, the critical differentiator will no longer be the IQ. It will be an EQ, emotional quotient, and ethical reasoning. So machine can compute faster, but they cannot love, they cannot empathize, they cannot forgive. This is forgiveness is also one of the characteristics. I think machines can never do that or show compassion. So these are the qualities what we are talking about in the universal human values that is intrinsic to being human. So I think, we need to, this is the time when our young people are spending more than 6 hours on smart gadgets like iPhones, phones, and tablets and all that. So they don't even want to talk to the people. That is the time we need to bring in the qualities which is intrinsic to being human, make them aware, these are very critical for their survival. Thus, our education system must not merely produce capable engineers or doctors or technocrats, but evolved human beings who can think ethically, act compassionately, and lead responsibly. I think these are the 3 qualities we need to inculcate. And this course, I am very sure, actually, Universal Human Values, I've seen the textbooks, I've seen the content, I've seen and had a talk with the many world people who are involved with this. And I think I'm very certain this is going to bring in a big change into our education system. In an era where deep fakes and algorithms challenge the truth, we need individuals who can uphold integrity. Our commitment at All India Council for Technical Education is to integrate the universal human value course into the curriculum. So, and also we have made it mandatory. At AICTE, we recognize that imperative well before it became even a global concern. In fact, we have made universal human values a core component of technical education through several strategic initiatives. One is mandatory induction program. The student induction program introduced in 2018, as early as 2018, ensures that every engineering student or a diploma student undergoes a guided experience to appreciate the importance of human values, relationships, and national integration before starting their technical journey in their classes. Universal Human Value course, AICTE introduced the credit-based UHV course in the model curriculum for the undergraduate engineering students. It encourages reflection, self-exploration, harmony in relationships, and coexistence with nature. That is most important, sustainability. Then the next is we have also taken up large number of faculty development programs, FDPs. We have trained many faculty members across India through structured FDPs in UHV. It was when AICTE even funded them. Even now, recently also, we have given them large number of the FDPs to train the teachers in the area of universal human values, ensuring that our educators themselves embody and transmit these values meaningfully to the students. So the teacher education is also becoming very critical for us. Then, we are also looking at institutionalizing happiness and well-being. This AICTE is working to integrate the concepts of mental wellness, stress management into campus culture through partnerships and policy nudges. Friends, if India has to become the developed nation, because it's Bharat by 2047, and I think UHV plays a major role. Our larger vision has to be to prepare the youth who not only have the skill to build technologies, but the wisdom to use them judiciously for societal good. Human values are not an add-on. I wanted to express that very clearly again. It should not be an add-on. They are the soul of any education, for that matter. And more so, I say, on behalf of AICTE, technical education. So we even recently looked at the review of the entire UHV program at AICTE. And what we got is a very positive response from the IRMA, who third-party audit of the entire program did it. I am very glad to tell you today who have assembled in this platform that IRMA gave an excellent review on this program. We are very, very happy to tell you that this program is continued further, even with funding for many faculty development programs. And I strongly believe that this is the soul of the technical education. The purpose of education is not just employability, friends. Actually, unfortunately, today, every college, every diploma institution talks about only employability. But unfortunately, for a generation, for a country with a large history on spirituality and all, enlightenment should also be part of this education. But unfortunately, it is not. We would like to bring that part of enlightenment through the universal human value courses. A student must not only learn how to create algorithms or solve problems, but also understand their ethical consequences. Today, with AI and generative AI and agentic AI, that is much more pertinent. How do we handle these ethical consequences, even though there are no guardrails put on the development? So they must not just innovate the kids for profit or money making, but also for planetary good. Education must balance the head and the heart. I would like to repeat, the education must balance the head and the heart. This is where we are touching the heart through the UHV. In fact, India has the opportunity to lead the world in showing how technological progress can go hand in hand with cultural rootedness, emotional intelligence, and spiritual awareness. So friends, let's not forget, values are not taught, they are lived. I will repeat again, values are not taught, they are lived. So institutions must create living laboratories of ethics, empathy, and ecological responsibility. I think many such programs we have started at the education institution. To all the respected, the institutional heads, deans, and policymakers who are assembled on this platform today, I appeal to you, let us together redefine the excellence, not just as an academic output or a placement statistics. Even our ranking frameworks have to change, friends, but as a holistic development of character, conscience, and compassion has to be also brought in, and we need to put some measures to count that in our rankings. Let us empower faculty to act as mentors, not just subject experts. See, you all know that we have different names, Guru, Upadhyaya, and many such things, very, very clearly defined the roles. So we need to might again look back, then just call them everybody as a teacher. Let us infuse the entire institutional ecosystem, involve the institutional heads, owners of the colleges, and also from labs to hostels, classrooms to conferences, with the spirit of humanity. This is the true vision of our National Education Policy 2020. Friends, we are going to complete 5 years by July 2025, 5 years, the implementation of NEP 2020, a vision that entire Ministry of Education, which is committed to actualizing through in policies, curriculum, and partnerships, and that is where universal human values has a role to play. In conclusion, I would like to say, let me quote Swami Vivekananda, who said, quote, education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man, quote close. So we can very clearly see here how much importance we have to take to the UHV, and we have to make this as part of the education system. Our job as educator is to ignite that perfection ethically, empathetically, and excellently. I would like to again congratulate the UHV team and particularly the IIT Ropar with Professor Rajeev Ahuja's leadership to take up this initiative. And I would like to congratulate each one of them. And I once again thank you for this particular opportunity where I could share some of my thoughts on this topic and how this education in India we need to change. Let us work together, friends, towards building an India and a world where knowledge is guided by values and learning is inspired by love. That's most important, just not making an expert and making money. So with these few words, I wish the program a great success. And we are already at the end of this program, but I will be available if there are some questions along with the other speakers for a few minutes. So thank you very much. Namaskar, Dhanyavad, Jai Hind.
Thank you, Sitharamji. AICT has taken the lead for propagating the values in all of India. So we thank you for being here and sharing the story with us. Thank you very much. Yes, Upasana ji, your mic is muted, but if there are any immediate questions, any observations, we'll be happy
Any
to take
questions?
them. Yeah.
Or any thoughts? You're welcome, please.
Yes, Professor B.L. Ahuja ji from Bodoland is here. So your mic is muted. If you would like to unmute and say something, you're welcome.
Sir,
Yes.
I'm grateful to Professor Rajeev Ahuja ji and all the participants, all the learned speakers in this particular workshop or symposium. In fact, I was also thinking to have this concept in particularly in the Bodoland area, because the Bodoland was suffering due to ethnic problems, and particularly the human values are to be taught in that area properly. So definitely, I will follow the concept of Professor Sitharam, and the way this conference is being organized, that's really wonderful for the university system also. And I request UGC also to kindly implement in the University Grants Commission curriculum so that the universities, they can also have the benefit of this human value system. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you once again.
For your information, let me mention two things. One is that UGC is part of the NCCIP, which AICTE had formed. So they are also members of the same, it's a joint committee. And the second thing is that last year, there was a directive issued from the UGC signed by Professor Tripathi on including universal human values courses in their MMTTCs programs as short-term short-term training programs, teacher training programs.
That's
so
great.
You can always have, starting with the 6-day STTP on introduction of the universal human values to the higher level courses.
So I'm wholly inspired, sir. So I'm grateful to all of you, sir. Thank you very much.
You are welcome. There's a network of regional coordinators that have been put together in every region, working in about 39 different states. So all the 8 AICT areas, all the states, there is contacts. So we can take a look at the AICT website for their names. And we are about to update that, but the names that we have right now, you can share that. Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah. A lot of work has been done, Sitharam ji, and before that, Sahasrabudhe ji. They have made a lot of progress. Yeah.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. And Rajul Bhaiya, as participants are asking, Ahuja sir is willing to listen about the developments, the possibilities of UHV implementation across the nation. So may I request you to
Yeah, before that, Sitharam ji, if it is okay, and Ahuja ji, may I request you to give us 20 minutes or so for sharing about the second part of the content.
Yes.
No problem. No issue, sir.
Yeah, Ahuja ji.
Sir.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So we'll go through that and then we'll come back with. So there is very encouraging, I would say, progress. We are not approaching UHV just as a course that is to be done, as a course. It is a step towards living, as Professor Sitharam ji also mentioned. So we are acting at both the proactive level, the active level, and the post-active levels. So, so it's very comprehensive program. So we'll talk about it after the second part of the content.
Okay, Bhaiya.
Thank you.
So continuing, let me, we are honored to invite Professor Gopal Babuji, a consistent researcher and sincere explorer in the field of UHV, universal human values, who has been deeply engaged in understanding and facilitating meaningful dialogues around the core aspects of human life, happiness, relationships, and the holistic development of human being. So you are welcome, Gopal sir, to share your views on this holistic vision of life. Gopal sir.
Namaste everyone. Good afternoon.
Sir, be a little bit louder.
Okay, now it is clear, Upasana ji?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, so namaste everyone. Good afternoon. So let me share my PPTs. Is it visible, Upasana ji?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. So I am going to discuss program for fulfillment of basic human aspiration. So in continuation of the previous session taken by Shri Ganesh ji. So Ganesh ji left here at this slide. So he discussed these three things are required to ensure a continuous fulfillment in the self. So right understanding, relationship, and physical facility. So I would like to share an interesting example here, how this content impact students. So once I was taking a session for alumni of our college. So I am in Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. So once I was taking a session for alumni of AKGC, and it was COVID period. It was online session, and around 20 alumni were connected in this session with their family members. And after a lot of discussion, I found two common problems that are being faced by everyone, irrespective of where the student is working. And all alumni were placed in a good company like Google, Amazon. Some were working abroad with good package. So with discussion, I found two common problems. Number one, students are not able to manage family and job. They feel a gap between when they try to manage family and job. So they are not able to manage both together. Secondly, most of them I found in fear of losing job, because most of them are in private job. So they had some fear. So discussion went on. So I asked a simple question to alumni. Number one is, when you were in your fourth year, a common question is asked at the time of interview by HR. How do you see, or how do you want to see you after 10 years, after 20 years? So this is a very common question, है ना, जो सभी कंपनी पूछती है. So I asked the same question. What had you replied then when you were asked this question? Where do you want to see yourself after 10 years, 20 years? So some students shared that they replied to HR. They want to help the company to grow from this point to this point. They will help company to increase their economy. Some of them replied that they wanted to be in a good position in the same company. Then I asked them, before 10 years, you could not think that there is a need to make balance between job and family. So before 10 years, you were focusing only on economic growth and you ignored many relations. Now, whatever you have today, you have that you wanted, that you visualized 10 years back. So you could not visualize your life holistically. You could not visualize your life with relationship. So that's why you are feeling gap. Second point is security. So I asked a student, do you think that job of prime minister is secure in this country? So everyone said no. So then I asked students, do you need security from outside, or do you need internal stability, internal security? So they said internal security. So then I asked them, for internal stability, we need to have right understanding. To make balance between job and family, we need to ensure right understanding with relationship, in relationships. And to manage both, we need to have clarity how much physical facility we need to run a family, to run a society. And for all this, we need right understanding. Understanding of everything that I am living with. Understanding of human being, family, society, nature existence. So this is how this discussion went on. And whenever I ask this question to any batch, I get the same questions. People are in fear. People are not able to manage relationship, most of the people. So that's why how this content help students to understand a holistic life, to visualize life holistically, to live life with a skill of relationship, with a skill of identifying their real needs, with a skill of doing job in team with feeling of relationship. So this is how this course helps them. So as Ganesh ji told that we discuss in the form of proposals. So we put some proposals in front of audience, in front of students. We encourage them to we ask them to verify these proposals on the basis of natural acceptance. Then we encourage them to live what you have verified, experientially validate it, and see whether you are reaching to mutual happiness or mutual prosperity or not. So this is the process that we adopt during this conversation. We put simply in the form of proposal. We encourage participant to verify this and see whether you are reaching to mutual happiness, mutual prosperity. And you can also see for yourself which process is naturally acceptable to you. A process of self-exploration, self-verification on your own right, or a process of do's and don'ts. So whenever we ask these two statements to our participants, everyone says the process of self-exploration is naturally acceptable to us. A process of self-verification is naturally acceptable to us. So that's why Anil sir said that this course doesn't run in the form of do's and don'ts. We put some proposal and we together explore whether these proposals are naturally acceptable to us or not. So we conduct this course as a co-explorer. So we give opportunity to participants to verify. So in this manner, we run the course. So I am going to give you some glimpses of the key concepts, though it is required long time to understand. At least 8 days workshop is required. But since I have very less time, so I am going to give some glimpses of this content.
You have 10 minutes, Gopal Babu.
Ji sir, I will try to sum up all these things in 10 minutes. So as Ganesh ji said that we want to live with continuous happiness, continuous prosperity. So let me briefly put up what is happiness. So what we propose in this course is happiness is a state or situation in which I live. If there is a harmony, synergy in it, then it is naturally acceptable to me to be in that state or situation. So to be in a state of harmony is happiness. To be in a state of disharmony, contradiction, is unhappiness. So I generally ask students, when you will be able to focus on your study more, when you will be in state of harmony or contradiction, when you will be able to lead a team in job, when you will be in harmony or in contradiction, when you will be able to visualize your future, when you will be in harmony or contradiction. So students understand the importance of this state of harmony. And this state of harmony is happiness. So we do a lot of discussion on this. So it is also a proposal for everyone who is present here. You can ask yourself what happiness is for you. So proposal is to be in a state of harmony is happiness. So in sum up, happiness to be in a state of harmony. And if I continue this state of harmony, I can continue my happiness. If I am not able to continue this state, it means the moment I have contradiction in me, I become unhappy. And I try to come out of this. But if I am not able to come out of this, then I feel unhappy, and I am bound to be unhappy if I am not aware of this state of harmony. So many people, when they are not able to ensure happiness in continuity, they try some other methods like excitement. So rather than reinforcing a state of harmony, people start trying some excitement. So they start watching movie, they start going here and there, some appreciation from outside, some attention from outside. They are trapped into this. Sometimes they become egoist because of this positive excitements. Sometimes they feel depression in themselves when they don't get appreciation from others, attention from others. So this is how we are moving from excitement to depression, ego to depression in our life. So we are not continuing our happiness. So with right understanding, we can be happy. We can ensure the state of harmony within us. So happiness is a state of harmony that can be ensured with right understanding. Now we need to check we are working for right understanding or we are working for excitement, or we are working to get diverted ourselves outside. So these we need to check. So continuity can happen with right understanding and right feeling. And with right understanding, right feeling, responsibility comes. So we become complement to others rather than keeping blame to others. In that sense, we can also see prosperity. So the feeling of having or producing more than required physical facility is prosperity. So it is a feeling, it is a sense that I have more than required. So when we are prosperous, we think to nurture others. We think of right utilization of the resources that are available to us. When we are deprived, we start accumulating. We may start exploiting others. So we discuss these things, whether prosperity and accumulation of wealth are similar or two different things. So you can ask yourself also, do you want to be a billionaire or a prosperous person? You can just ask yourself. You can take 1 minute, 1 second pause, and you can ask yourself, are you sure that by becoming a billionaire, you are going to be happy in continuity? So these questions facilitate students to contemplate what they are doing actually and what they want in life. So these questions are also open for you. All of you can check this. And how this continuity can be ensured? And program is to understand harmony. To understand harmony in human being, family, society, nature, and existence. So I'm going to give some glimpses of harmony in human being and family, some basic glimpse. So let's start with harmony in human being, because I want continuity of happiness, and it cannot be ensured till I understand what I am as a human being.
Gopal Babuji, there is only 3 minutes left.
Ji, sir.
And so let us ask our host, Rajeev Ahuja ji, and Professor Sahasrabudhe and Professor Sitharam ji, how to proceed, because there is very little time left.
Okay, sir.
Yes, Rajeev Ahuja ji, we want your guidance.
Sir, Rajuji, should I speak now or we can wait for his presentation?
I think we can, we'll keep to time. I think Gopal Babuji, if you can just sum up in 1 minute or so, and we will go to
Yes.
Professor Rajeev Ahuja ji.
Ji.
We started a little, 8 minutes late, but it's okay. We will try to close on time.
Okay, sir. So I will cover the content in 2 minutes.
Yes.
Rest is left for your understanding. So in human being, we put some proposals like human being is coexistence of self and body. And we ask participants who needs food, who needs respect, who needs cloth. It is body or self. Who feels happy or sad? It is body or the self. So problem happens when we assume ourselves as body only. So we want continuity of happiness, but due to assumptions that we are body, we start ensuring this happiness with accumulation of physical facility. And without understanding myself, we try to fulfill this continuity of happiness with physical chemical things. But the reality is this happiness can be ensured with right understanding and right feeling. So if we are not clear about ourselves and we are assuming ourselves as a body, so we become trapped into a loop where we accumulate more and more, try to get happiness, but soon we get bored, and again we try to get happiness. So we all are in a loop that is unfulfilled by any means. Then with human being, we talk about some feelings, harmony in family. So in this module, we talk about 9 feelings, and fundamental feeling is trust. So we discuss trust as to be assured that the other wants to make me happy and prosperous. So this clarity leads to unconditional trust. So how this trust can be ensured in relationship, that we discuss in module. So we ask few questions to the participants that I want to make myself happy. Each one says yes. I want to make other happy. Everyone say yes. The other wants to make himself or herself happy. Everyone says yes. When we ask the other wants to make me happy, there is a question mark in audience. But on other side, if we see competence, am I able to make myself always happy? There is a question mark. Am I able to make the other always happy? There is a question mark. The other is able to make himself always happy. There is a question mark. The other is able to make me always happy. There is a double question mark. So with lot of discussion, we set why there is a doubt on the intention of others. So with clearly difference between intention and competence, it leads to unconditional trust in relationship. And that we discuss, explore during these sessions. And those who attend these sessions, at least they are clear of intention of others. And that is foundation value in relationship. So trust is a foundation value in relationship. So we start from trust and go to love. So because of limited time, so let me sum up in few seconds. So self-exploration is the process of listening to the proposal. We discuss basic human aspiration, happiness, prosperity, and its continuity. Happiness to be in a state of harmony. Unhappiness to be forced to be in a state of disharmony. Prosperity, the feeling of having more than required physical facility. And program is to understand harmony at all levels of being. And this course discusses harmony at all levels, starting from individual to family to society to nature existence. And outcome of this course is audience feel stable, harmony, stable in relationship, and they see the life with holistic vision. So that's all from my side. I did my best in limited time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gopal Babuji. Nice. And over to you, Rajeev Ahuja. Yes.
So thank you for all of you, the speakers who have joined, and we will say in Hindi में मार्गदर्शन के लिए. So how we want to start in IIT system this course actually, and as we have discussed many times that we all know these human values, but we are not implementing in a true spirit. So at IIT Ropar, we have already taken the initiative that we have a Center for Excellence for a IKS Indian Knowledge System, and where we are teaching, we have started with Gita, because and then one of the like Anil Sahasrabudhe ji said that we should take them on historical places also. So for Gita, we took them in Kurukshetra 2 times, so they can really see that and they can feel the history and the human values what we have during that time in the Udesh of the Gita. So Gita is itself a best management, and it has everything what we are talking in human values right now. And how to implement that was another thing what we are thinking in right now. So what we want to do, we want to also go for this kind of course, and we need more help. For example, from Veena Bansal ji and Gopal Das and Ganesh ji also to come and give some lectures here also, because in the beginning we need their help and support. So when we create this kind of course at IIT Ropar, so this is a way we need help, and we have now sitting beside me our head of the department of HSS department, Amritesh. He want to add maybe something.
Thank you, Rajeev. In continuation with what Sir said, we have been experimenting with the course of Gita here, and I think most of the content that have been discussed here in terms of teaching remains the same. Just a little bit of tweaking is required, and Gita is a different kind of course where, of course, harmony is discussed and the state of conflict resolution is discussed. And we have also introduced certain things which is called state of devotion, which is the core part of IKS. So we have found audience, different levels of audience were there. Those who can easily get into devotion and those who work only at the level of harmony and conflict. So for that kind of an audience, I think the course of universal human values is the best suited course that we can take along. And of course, we need to discuss more, and we need to have some, a collaborative involvement so that we can develop some kind of course material which we can drop in into our syllabus over here. So we'd like to get more feedback from you, and we can proceed.
And Rajeev ji, we need more of this kind of sessions actually. Of course, when we talk this kind of session in a physical mode, what you have done last time in NITR, it has a great impact. But at least on a physical more. Maybe sometimes it's very difficult to come all of us, but we can have is at least 1 or 2 events every month. This kind of a event where we can get a vision from all people who have already implemented it and who are using this in their institution, and their feedback is very important to take this course to take to the next level in IITs and in NITs. Thank you.
Yeah, certainly that's a very good idea, and we'd certainly like to hear from everyone else. I would just like to place that through the efforts of the last several years, there are 8 courses that have been developed. The foundation courses, there are 3 foundation courses, as you can see on the left-hand side, that can be implemented in a very, I would say, logical manner, which Sahasrabudhe mentioned very articulately, and they have been put together in an induction program. And Professor Sitharam also mentioned about them. On the right-hand side, you can see the advanced courses, and they can be put together for a minor degree in universal human values. And what we are saying is that we put this in education at a proactive level, the foundation courses at the proactive level. Before any problems happen, if we are able to put these courses, those problems are largely addressed. If some issues are still remaining, then the faculty mentoring and the student buddy program that are part of the induction program, end of the induction program, they kick in and they make a very significant difference in handling the issues that might crop up. But if something goes beyond that, then we are developing this counseling package, which would be something that the very few students that are remaining, they would need to take. So all of this material is there. The textbooks and the books are there. So all this material is already available, and we can certainly we would certainly like to share that with all of you. And I mean, we can certainly do it face to face and also online. I think those who are very keen, they will be happy to come. You can host that. In fact, last time that we met in Nitter, Chandigarh, it was suggested that we can have the next workshop in the governor's place, and that he would be happy to host it. So back to you, and now I can see Sahasrabudhe ji is there and Sitharam ji is there, if you would like to say something more than that. And there is one hand raised also. Somebody has raised their hand also, so we can address that also. Yes, Ahuja ji.
Yeah, it was Abhishek Kumarji who raised a hand.
Okay. So it's okay.
But now it's not raised.
Okay, anyway, now back to Rajeev Ahuja ji and Sahasrabudhe ji and Sitharam ji.
Yeah, Bhaiya, Raju sir, Harpreet Singh ji want to ask something. Harpreet ji.
Yeah, but before that, I was responding to Rajeev Ahuja ji. So anything, I mean, any response from your side, Ahuja ji?
No, but we want to listen more from the experienced people like Anil Sahasrabudhe ji and T.G. Sitharam.
Yes.
Because they have already implemented in the AICTs. We want to implement in the younger IITs. So we really need their input, and we are willing to work it, and we want to do it ASAP at IIT Ropar also.
Yeah. What Professor Sitharam was mentioning was this study that was conducted by the Institute of Rural Management, which contains, which addresses to more than 5,000 institutions, 27,000 faculty members, and 11,000 students. So it is basically saying that UHV helps in development of a holistic, humane vision of life, understanding the purpose of life, and a shift from materialistic to meaningful goals. And they have a lot of detail. I mean, these are some very, brief outcomes from that. But it is very encouraging that The response from Irma is very encouraging, as Sitharamji mentioned. Yes. Yeah, but we can hear from Sahasrabudhe ji and Sitharamji.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Dr. Parag Sangani from PP Swan University, Surat. We just wanted to understand if we wanted to have this faculty development program for the University of Gujarat, whom to contact and how we can take it forward for further.
Upasana ji will send you, name Ila Deria ji. She will contact you and take it forward.
Ji, sir. I'm taking this responsibility to contact you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. In every region, every state, there is, some UHV coordinator who is taking the responsibility for, taking it forward. So there are around 500 volunteers who are there. Yeah, Jitendra Narula has placed Ilaji's number also. Yeah. Okay. Sahasrabudhe ji and Sitharam ji, if you would like to say something.
Namaskar. We heard everyone. In particular, whatever Dr. Rajeev Ahuja was asking for implementing in IIT Kanpur, whatever is done can be replicated, number one, because there is a first-hand experience of another IIT. Certainly, whatever AICTE group of institutions are doing, you can learn lessons from them also, because Dr. Gopal Babu very eloquently, within 10 minutes, was able to explain a PowerPoint presentation. Before that, Ganesh Bagaria ji, and also Madam Bansal ji. So I think these three are the basic frameworks on which this entire program rests. And as suggested by some of the faculty that we want to do it, but where do we approach? I think you must be able to approach the cell of which is running this UHV program all over the country. And this was like a trailer in a movie. So you must ask all your faculty to undertake 1 week faculty program for understanding the entire process. Once it is done, there will be many people who will become volunteers. And all those who are convinced that this is an important program, an excellent program, which is going to create well-being amongst all students, faculty, good relationships, they should automatically become volunteers, because this is our role. We have to contribute. This kind of a feeling also should get generated, and automatically it gets generated. Because when this was started in AICTE, I remember there were hardly some 30, 40 people who were able to take classes. Not even that. In fact, in the beginning, there were only 7, 8, became 30, 40, 700, 200. Now there are volunteers all across the country in almost all the colleges who are well trained and who are ready to take up this as their mission of life. So I think the starting point, Dr. Ahuja, is that you must have 1 full week physical, or even if it is online, doesn't matter. Because there was one more perception in the beginning, before COVID, that this can be only done in the physical mode. Human-to-human interaction can only be in a physical mode. That is true. It is always most effective if it is physical. But when COVID came and we were all handicapped, I said, no, we should start with even online. There was, in fact, the whole committee was not so much favorable. I said, we'll experiment first on AICTE, our officers, for running this whole program and see the efficacy of that. And we ran it and it became so successful. Then we had to limit the number for each of these online programs to not more than 200, so that we are able to correlate, we are able to answer the queries and all of that. So please conduct this program. All the people who are there on this particular today's meeting, please ask for a similar workshop to be conducted. And whenever there is a workshop being conducted, ask your faculty to join. That is the only way we can move ahead. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Yeah, thank you, Sahasrabudhe ji. And under Sitharamji's leadership, this is the 5 sets of things that we have identified to be done in the near future. And much of it is already being done. So Sitharamji, if you would like to mention any of these things. Okay, his mic is muted. But we have been able to make a very huge progress in reaching out to the institutions. More than 4,000 institutions have already been reached. And it has already been extended to many schools. 380 schools started in 2023. And then now it is being extended to 9,000 schools in Madhya Pradesh. It has been taken to few jails by the institutions that have taken responsibility for, reaching out to their brethren who are, not in such complementary conditions. So work is going on in different jails. And through our international conference, which we have been doing since 2012, we are reaching out internationally also. The next conference is in December of this year. And we'd certainly like all of you to join for that conference and help us with reaching out internationally. And of course, as Sahasrabudhe mentioned, to strengthen the UHV team by going through the programs and volunteering for this effort. And one more thing I do want to mention is that Gopal Babu has done his PhD from IIT Delhi, and few months back he was recognized by the Alumni Association, and he was given outstanding contribution to national development. So his photograph is over there. Just wanted to mention that. So we can plan for the next. Jitendra Narula, he is the co-coordinator for the National Committee for Induction Program, NCCIP. And we would be happy to organize another session, or we can organize, join those of you who are interested to the, to the program, the 1 week program that is there. So you can join that program online. And if you are interested in having a face-to-face program at your institution, then we'll see. Right now AICTE is funding 8 face-to-face programs that are starting tomorrow. So those of you who are interested in reaching out, we'll send you the link. Send you the locations, and you can drop in. The directors can drop in to those programs as and when your time permits. So I think that is also possible. So please contact Jitendra Narula. He'll be happy to connect you to what can be the next step.
Maybe Rajneesh Arora ji, you want to say something, add something, because we don't have time to speak.
हाँ जी नमस्कार
सर आप कुछ बोलना
नमस्कार
चाहेंगे?
राजीव जी हाँ नहीं मैं साथी हूँ हाँ जी
You want to add something?
अरे मैं थोड़ा सा रास्ते में था मैं फिरोजपुर से अमृतसर आ रहा था तो इस कारण से बहुत बढ़िया
Punjab is also another state where we need more this one. And Rajneesh ji, आप पंजाब से आते हो, so we have to work a lot.
Yes, we have a nodal center in Kapurthala PTU and in Amritsar also, and we are working with different colleges in the state. And we are also having it from 28th to 27th in Punjab University workshop. So they are holding it. About 80 participants are participating in it from different states.
There's one question from Sonam Mansukhani ji. The curriculum has been there since 2017 and even before that, in fact, 2009. So it is a well-tested curriculum and there is a lot of material. We will share the, I think we'll have to put it in the group, Jitu, all the material links, the uhv.org.in website, as well as the YouTube channel. You can put those things.
राजुल जी
जी
देखिए, एक वाक्य कहना था कि 15 साल से हम ये काम कर रहे हैं,
जी
लोगों को ये मटेरियल है ये पता नहीं है, तो दिस इज आवर फेलियर इन सम सेंस. सो आई थिंक वी मस्ट एक्सपैंड आवर बेस इन टर्म्स ऑफ रीच आउट, creating awareness, more such, maybe half day I said this is a trailer, we should
Yes.
keep on showing the trailer so that full movie देखने के लिए लोगों को आवाहन करते रहेंगे, और क्या कर सकते.
अभी if I see right now, every workshop is oversubscribed. The workshop that is happening in Coimbatore starting tomorrow, it has a capacity of 80. It has 230 registrations. So that is the state. Now, if we certainly we do need to reach out to more people and increase the online reach. That we must do. But you are right, there is need and we must make our effort.
Oh, yeah, Sahasrabudhe, you're right. When I didn't know about that, when I met Rajulji in Nitter, then I came to know about it. So then we said, why not in IIT Ropar also we should implement this. So that was for us also eye-opener that there is some activity exists like this, which we can use and can be benefited. So this is how I came in touch with the Rajulji during the Nitter meeting.
Very significantly, what we are doing is in a very universal way so that it can reach to every section of the society in a verifiable way so that it is not a set of do's and don'ts, in a rational manner which appeals to human reasoning, and it leads to harmony. So we are trying to approach it like physics. So there is no flavor to physics. It is, it is existential. So similarly, UHV is existential. So there is no, charge with it.
My appeal is all the people who have understood this, they should speak about it wherever they go on all platforms. That is the only way we can promote it further.
Yeah, I would also encourage you to see Sahasrabudheji's podcast. It's really, very interesting, Sahasrabudheji. You spoke for around 2 hours and a lot of it was about UHV also. It's called About Us. No, Between Us. It was Between Us. It is called Between Us. Yes.
Namaskar.
Yeah. So I think we'll stop here. Namaskar to everyone. And for the most generous hosts, Rajeev Ahuja ji and Amritesh ji, thank you so much. Namaskar. And
Namaste.
everyone who was there.
Namaste everybody. Very nice. Good possibility has opened now.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
Generally Thanksgiving नहीं होता है, लेकिन I would like to put on record the entire team who have been contributing for the last 10 plus years selflessly. Absolutely no honorarium charge. Actually, they are doing a wonderful service to humanity. That's all I can say. Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you and namaste, everyone.
Namaste, Veena ji. So nice that you presented so eloquently and it went across very well. Nice.
Thank you, Rajulji, for your support and believing in IIT Ropar.
We look forward to hearing from you, Ahuja ji. If you'll come there.
Yeah, you're most welcome, sir.
Yeah, we look forward to that. Namaste. Namaste.